Hello, Radical Pleasurists. I'm Heather.
I'm Alexis.
And I'm Sophia. Look, we have this beautiful goddess here with us. Oh my God. Just sitting next to her makes me feel really fluttery and excited because I just love being around your energy so much. And we have to give you a little story. She crashed my birthday party.
Oops.
This is how radical pleasure rolls, people. My 40th birthday party, so many people, all of a sudden, literally, I turn around and I see her face and I'm like, who the fuck are you? But in a delighted way. I was like, I am so happy you're here. And then we were dancing all like goddessy and there was drumming. It was just so crazy.
It was so sexy.
It was so great. And there's so many other stories of literal like magic where we would bump into each other. It's the craziest thing. Anyway, we have co-opted her. Mm-hmm. We have reeled her in. Now she's here with us. And she has experienced soirees and we just like being around each other.
We do. We definitely do.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
I'm so excited to be here.
So we are talking about something that we actually don't talk about all that often. So many people seem to make this assumption. They read our business name, Radical Pleasurist, and their minds immediately jump to, oh, you guys must talk about sex constantly. And actually, no. There's so many other forms of pleasure available every moment, every day. But we did want to go ahead and explicitly talk about sex today.
Yeah. So we have been realizing that what we're doing is we're actually expanding definition and redefining what people have programmed as pleasure, intimacy, vulnerability, courage. And today it was just so appropriate based on what is coming up for all of us in our lives and what we're noticing in other people's experiences that, yeah, it's time to talk about sex, y'all.
Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby. I love it. And I'm so glad to be here, too, because this is just a topic I see coming up for so many people and something I think we need to have more clear, radical discussions about and conversations, like men, women, everyone, anyone who identifies at all, just humans. Like, we need to talk about this in a new way.
We're going to share with you how radical pleasurists have sex. You ready for this? I used to be a sex therapist, so I'm not interested at all in teaching you techniques or telling you how to orgasm or showing you how to, none of those. And I've gotten lots of phone calls from dudes and people wanting me to teach them how to masturbate and do all the things. And I'm like, you know what, that's kind of boring for me. Like, been there, done that. Like, we can all watch videos. There's educational videos. There's a lot of ways to learn this. So
this is pleasurable, right?
Yeah. The way, hashtag Radical Pleasure 365.
Yay.
The way that radical pleasurists have sex is that.
Taking a deep breath.
Deep breath.
Checking in. How do I feel right now?
How do I feel?
What do I desire right now?
What do I desire right now?
And then what do I desire right now? A moment has passed. It could change.
Yes. And actually taking the time and pausing and slowing down to ask those questions. And not only ask those questions because we're not interested in you being in your head, is sinking into your body, feeling your body. And if you don't know what that means, then hold on, we're going to take you on a journey. Feeling your body and actually connecting with a very deep and wise part of you so that you can actually hear an answer and then make a decision. And first, it always begins with giving to yourself first. So you're asking and checking in, what do I want in terms of sex and pleasure and sexual intimacy, which is separate from other intimacies and together with other intimacies, sexual intimacy, creative energy. What do I want right now for myself in the moment, whether you're by yourself, solo, masturbating, looking at yourself in a mirror, whatever, before you even address that you're with another person.
Just asking those questions, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the most crucial piece.
Yeah. And
gotta
it
ask
takes
the
a
right
lot of
questions.
courage
Yeah.
to even ask. Dude, it wasn't until maybe a couple years ago that I was even asking those questions. I mean, we all have sex except for those who choose not to. And usually it's just like, oh, we're together and I feel really aroused and I feel really wet, or I feel the physiological.
You go
It's
right into
autopilot.
it.
No
Yeah.
autopilot
It's
in radical pleasure sex. No
Out
autopilot.
the door.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we're together and I'm aroused, and now we're
Next
naked,
step,
and
next step.
now
What happens
you're
next? Let's do the
inside
next
of
step.
me, and it's like, oh, you're going down on me or
Slow
whatever.
the
It's
hell
just
down.
Yes.
all the behavioral stuff, and then it's where
Forgot.
is the connection?
Right. You forgot about that connection when you're just like diving into
Well,
it. When you're just going for it instead of thinking about it.
Because
It's a
we're
feeling.
afraid.
Feeling about it,
'Cause
yeah.
We're
Feeling
afraid
about
of
it.
the connection. We're afraid of being seen and heard. So to be able to, for example, this came up recently, to be able to be so close to somebody, looking into their eyes, being asked, may I enter you? And then saying, hold on a sec, let me check in. Literally closing my eyes, breathing, and waiting for a response. And if no response comes, no answer comes, that's a no. And so that means no, you are not entering my yoni, my pussy, my vagina, whatever you like to call it. It's not happening. That kind of interaction is not going to happen. That doesn't mean we stop connecting sexually or physically or spiritually or emotionally or even intellectually during sex. That means that particular aspect isn't going to happen until my yoni says yes.
Yes.
Hell yes. Not just
Hell
a
yes.
yes, but a
Yeah,
hell yes.
yeah,
That's
it's
right,
clear.
that's
It's just
right.
clear. It's a clear connection, and we know how radical that is. We know how radical that is. Are you asking yourself that? Are you allowing yourself the space and the time to breathe and say, okay, what about right now? Because the answer is scary. Because what if it's a no? Because
Right.
then you have to say it
Right.
out loud. So
Right.
there's a lot that goes into radical pleasurous sex.
You gotta deal with that, that fear of rejection. That
All of it.
is principle. Because if I'm saying to you, you know what? No. Well, okay. Then it's okay. That's fine. Not
Yes.
having
Accepting
it be
whatever is in this moment.
Yes.
Whatever's arising.
Right.
Not having it be an automatic
Not
yes.
being a
Not just because
pleaser.
we're aroused or because we felt like we
Yes.
were going to do this half an hour ago. But right now, I'm like, well, actually, you know what? I wasn't thinking clearly, or this other thing came up, and now
Hashtag change
No.
your mind.
Hashtag change your mind.
That's
Totally
something me and my
acceptable.
friends have been saying a lot.
Feel your
Hashtag
body.
change your mind.
Right.
And it goes both ways. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It's not about being expected to perform. It's another thing, taking performance and agenda out of
A
sex.
goal.
Taking it out of sex. Taking orgasm out of sex. It's part of it. But it's something that happens naturally when everything else has aligned.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting off. It's a natural response to you surrendering because you do feel so connected to yourself first and then to the other person or other people. Because we don't care how many people are in the room,
That's what we're
okay?
doing.
And we don't care. As long as we're making eye contact.
Lots and lots,
Lots
of eye contact.
with every single
And
body
that's so
in the
sexy
room.
and so hot to just,
And so emotional.
so emotional. So one of the experiences that I've recently had is, so I have a new lover. This is really delightful.
Woo!
But we actually spent a tremendous amount of time together over a several month period, and intercourse wasn't even on the table. And that really allowed so much creativity and so much like anticipation and building and, well, what feels good now? And man, I think it's one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
And you get to
Yes.
play,
And-
right?
that building up of sexual energy that was not released through the physical,
I was
physiological
so freaking
act
creative for those couple of months.
of orgasm through your genitals.
Right.
Sexual transmutation.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, that's the kind of sex we're talking about. We're not talking about some crazy like 12th level orgasm, tantra. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about being courageous enough to feel your body. To feel your body and to connect with yourself, to connect with your intuition, to connect with your divinity. This is not like, this is not beyond your grasp. Like anyone can do this. It's a process though, because it takes a ton of courage.
And
to
unprogramming
allow
the
that.
BS that we've been taught, and the BS that like, oh, you said yes 5 minutes ago. It's that it's that whole thing that was going around, the tea
It's always
analogy.
Yeah, I
Like,
love
that's-
that. The
that's a
consent.
great
I
way- yes,
love
that
that
one.
video.
Tea consent?
Yes.
Best video.
That is excellent.
It's also when I have conversations with very conscious people, and they're like, "Yeah, we had sex," and I ask, "What does that mean? Did you have intercourse? Did like what? Like kissing is what does that mean?" They're like, "Oh, well, we didn't have, or we had intercourse." I'm like, "Well, then you had intercourse. You had intercourse. That is one aspect of the sexual experience. It's not the end all be all of the sexual intimacy or connection with yourself or somebody else." So I get real specific with people. You had sex. What does that mean? Does that only mean intercourse, or did you kiss? Did you touch? Did you caress? Did you breathe with each other? Did you look into each other's? It's all the things that are just relationship and pleasure. Like that's all pleasure. It's not just.
Yeah.
It's not just.
Redefining
It's not about the
pleasure.
G spot
Yeah.
or your clit. It's not about any of that.
I feel like there's a really crucial element too, which is radical listening. Like, whoa, slow down, listen to me. What am I saying right now? And that starts with me listening to myself. I can't expect you to listen to me if I'm not listening to me. So,
Excellent point.
And then we get into boundaries, because if you're not listening to yourself, or you're noticing that somebody is not hearing you, that is when you bring in your love for yourself and your fierceness, and you say, that is not working for me. That is not working for me. I
Or
do
that is
not.
working for me.
Oh,
Please keep
yeah.
doing it.
Right,
right,
yes.
of course. But
But
being clear
you know,
on
if
that.
you
Yeah.
say to somebody, if you have an experience, which most people don't, and we understand that, but we want you to have this experience of you saying, let's say you are an individual with a penis, whether prosthetic or not, meaning like a strap-on or whatever, and you say to somebody, and you're with somebody who has a pussy, and you say, "May I enter?" That's sexy. Okay,
So sexy.
That's to ask that question is sexy.
true.
All the people who say don't communicate, it needs to be spontaneous, please. That is bullshit. Please, it is so. It's a lie.
Communication is
opposite.
so
It's a
damn
lie.
hot.
Communication
So damn
is
hot.
Yes.
so sexy.
That's how you get
And
a yoni to
asking-
open.
Yes.
Communicate
Yes.
with her.
It's
She
like,
wants to
"May
hear you say
I
that.
enter. That is
You're natural.
beautiful. May I enter? And
Yes.
then giving that beautiful invitation for the yoni owner to, or even if it's not a yoni owner, it could be a butthole. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
An entrance.
An
There we go.
entrance.
There we go.
Anything.
That's
Orifice.
true. Yes.
Giving that person an opportunity to breathe, check in, and ask, do I want to be entered? And then speaking, courageously saying yes or no. And if you don't receive a clear answer, it's a no, just automatically. And then proceeding from there.
So much else to do.
And then proceeding from
Yes.
there.
And letting that be.
And letting it be, and letting whatever, and not taking it personally. So letting that experience give you the opportunity to really see and know yourself and love yourself. There's so much.
Oh, sister.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's so much. We're just giving you a little preview, a snapshot of what is possible, and it's not theoretical. This is something that we've all experienced, yes?
Practice, yeah.
This is what we've experienced, and
Well, it's a
we
practice,
expect
too.
it. We have raised the bar
Yeah.
so high. We expect it, and we know the contrast. We've experienced all of it. The unconscious sex and the conscious sex.
And there's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
I
They're not
feel
even
like
the
she's
same
like on the-
activity at all.
We're on the same wavelength because
Yeah.
it's one is just it's such a different level. It's a different frequency. You're over there. You're operating on this plane, and when you go there, you're like, that's what I want. I didn't even
Yes.
know I wanted that. Oh my god, I didn't even know it existed. Exactly, and it does, and then it opens you up, and
Yes.
all these other
Oh,
dimensions,
boy.
this reality,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the exploration, the feelings, the everything.
All the
And
all
the
program,
feelings, all the
the
everything. And you gotta go there and feel
and you
that,
have to
be
keep
that.
making the choice. It's not
Right,
like, oh well, now I
yes.
got it. Now I'm
Yes.
conscious. No, every single interaction, every single moment, even with the same person,
Brand new.
is
Brand new.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's always about, can I show up right now? Can I show up right now in this moment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I trust myself right now and not go into autopilot? Can I
Right.
trust myself right now in this moment so that I can be present to this incredible, heart expanding, heart opening joy and pleasure of this moment?
But I'm feeling like a desire to say, but if you end up, you're trying and you end up in the unconsciousness again, it's okay. Just, give compassion to yourself, and you're becoming more aware, and you're trying, each moment is a new opportunity to try and come into the moment, check in, take a deep breath. How do I feel right now? What do I desire right now? And just keep doing it over and over and over again. And that's our desire for you.
So you keep forgiving.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
forgetting
about
is part of the process, and then
it's
remembering.
showing up and
Right,
forgiving.
too.
That's it. It's
forgiving.
showing up and forgiving.
Forgive,
Showing
forgive.
up and forgiving.
And
I
it's the
forgive myself.
same whether you've been in a relationship with the person for 5 years, 10 years, your whole life, 2 days. It's the same thing, We're talking about this applies to everyone, all of us, ourselves included.
Yes.
And we're practitioners of this.
Yes.
This is about practicing it.
Yes.
So it's letting go of perfectionism too. Big key, been coming up a lot.
Because we're already perfect.
Just naturally.
Just accepting ourselves
We're
and then
perfect.
communicating, hey, to your partner, maybe I want to practice this. Hey, I watched this video called da-da-da-da, and I want to talk about it. I want to think about it.
So that brings up a good
Right?
point, Alexis.
Yeah.
So if you felt like this video was really helpful for you, please share it.
Please share.
Yeah, please share. I will post in the comments below a link to our Radical Pleasurist DIY guide.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself, so you can get that will also add you to our list, so that you will
Yeah.
start getting our weekly story letter, which is filled with all kinds of exciting
Go
stories.
go on a radically pleasurable adventure with us.
Yes.
Radically
Let's go on a pleasure
pleasurable
adventure.
adventures, right?
Yes. Yes.
Pleasure.
Come play. Come play.
How will you experience pleasure today?
It's not just about sex. It's pleasurable sitting with your friends. It's pleasurable
So
drinking a delicious
pleasurable.
cup of coffee. It's pleasurable going
So
for a walk.
pleasurable.
All of it. It's
Smelling the
pleasurable.
flowers.
Yeah. Or rubbing the petals on your
Really
face.
beautiful hugs. So much.
Love you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mwah.